Ladies and gentlemen, what we are about to witness this week could become one of the most pivotal moments in modern geopolitics. On August 15th, in the frozen heart of Alaska, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin will sit down face to face. The stakes? Nothing less than the future of the war in Ukraine and perhaps the shape of the world order itself. Picture the setting: Joint Base Elmdorf-Richardson, a Cold War-era fortress turned into the arena for this high-stakes political duel. Chosen not by accident, Alaska, the symbolic bridge between the U.S. and Russia, is now the chessboard where two of the most unpredictable players in global politics will test each other's resolve. The official agenda talks about ending the war in Ukraine. But here's the catch: Ukraine isn't even in the room. President Zelensky has been crystal clear: no territorial concessions, no deals behind Kyiv's back. And yet, the West is worried, because history shows that when two powerful men meet behind closed doors, anything can happen, and not always for the better. Putin arrives with his trusted circle: Lavrov, Silvanov, Belosov, Dmitriev, Ushakov. These are not just diplomats, they're power brokers, ready to negotiate not just military matters, but economic leverage, sanctions, trade, energy, and those rare earth minerals the modern world can't function without. Trump, on the other hand, calls this meeting a chess game. He admits there's a 1 in 4 chance it fails completely, but make no mistake, he's hungry for a win. A diplomatic triumph here could cement his image as a deal maker, not just in America, but globally. But let's be honest, chess isn't the only game being played. Behind the polite handshakes, there's also poker, and both men are masters at bluffing. Now let's break down the possible outcomes. Scenario 1. Trump and Putin agree on a framework to freeze the conflict. This could be sold to the world as peace, but in reality, it might just lock in Russian control over occupied territories, something Ukraine will never accept. That could split NATO, weaken Western unity, and give Moscow exactly what it wants without firing another shot. Scenario 2. Talks collapse, tensions spike, and both leaders leave blaming each other. This would harden the front lines in Ukraine, possibly escalate the fighting, and set the stage for a second, more desperate round of negotiations, perhaps involving Zelensky directly. Scenario 3. A hybrid deal. Imagine Putin offering limited concessions, perhaps allowing international monitoring in certain regions in exchange for partial sanctions relief or a roadmap for future economic cooperation. That's the honey trap scenario. Sounds sweet, but the West could find itself locked into economic dependence on Russia again. And hovering over all of this is the unspoken reality: both men need a win. Trump to prove his diplomatic power in the face of critics, and Putin to show his people that Russia can negotiate from a position of strength, not weakness. The location alone sends a message. Alaska, once the front line of America's defense against the Soviet Union, now hosts a meeting that could redefine East-West relations. If peace emerges from here, it will be hailed as historic. If not, we might just see the return of a frozen conflict, both on the map and on the air between Moscow and Washington. The world is holding its breath, because this is not just about Ukraine. It's about who writes the rules for the next decade of global politics. When Trump and Putin meet in Alaska, remember, this isn't just a summit. It's a high-risk gamble, a gamble with borders, alliances, economies, and lives. Will it be peace? Will it be betrayal? Or will it be the spark that sets off a new Cold War? By the time the sun sets over Anchorage on August 15th, we might have our answer. Or we might just have more questions. One thing is certain: the game has already begun.